Hey folks, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook a quick and dirty macaroni and cheese. For those guys, I don't know why the hell you go out and you buy the boxes of Kraft Dinner, because it's full of, extra crap and it doesn't taste very good if you ask me. Here's how to make an awesome Kraft Dinner or macaroni and cheese from scratch, and using real cheese, and I'll teach you a thing called a roux, which is used for making sauces and soups. Now I got margarine and I got oil. I usually use the oil for noodles. Kitties, also not cheap. It seems cheap up front, but in the end, you're paying $1. Anywhere from 50 cents to $1 for a box, and this is $2, and you can get as many as how many is that? 900 grams for $2. The only expensive part will be the cheese. I can control how much cheese I'm going to use. See, this is about ½ cup there, but not too much. I'm going to chop up my cheese into little pieces. Chop, chop, chop. Doesn't take much. Now if you've got a shredder, that's even better because it's faster to melt. And I don't feel like spending money on a shredder. So for individual serving, I'll normally use 1 cup of noodles. See that? 1 cup of noodles. Ta-da. Put that right there next to the margarine. Now I also like to go out for these prepared spices. This is a roasted garlic and peppers. Awesome. And this one's a Cajun mix, which has got onions and hot peppers and celery in it. Spices. Anyway, with these, boom, prepared. First thing I do is I'm going to boil the water and then throw in the noodles, the little elbow macaroni noodles. We always use salt because that helps the noodles absorb the water faster, and the oil so the noodles don't stick together. If they become a big clump, it becomes useless. So what I'll end up using is some of the starchy water that's left over from this. I'll just, oh, and there's my colander. I'll just strain it off and then use it back a little bit more while I'm making my roux. My last ingredient that I haven't shown you yet is all-purpose flour. Now, I had a girlfriend way like 10, 15 years ago, and I thought I'd be, the big smart guy and cook up a beautiful meal for her. But I didn't realize at the time, you thought, KD, you throw in the cheese, throw in the butter, you throw in the milk, and it all mixes together, boom, you get a nice cheesy sauce. What I didn't realize was you needed a flour or a starch to tie them all together, or else what I ended up with was this burnt milk sauce with clumpy cheese melted in the bottom, and it did not look good at all. And if you start adding flour at that point, all you're going to end up with is mush. It's not going to be good. You have to start with a roux base, but I'll show you that as soon as I'm done making the noodles. Close enough. Stir it up at first. Now that only took about 5 minutes. There's my noodles. They're done. They're like el dente. They're still kind of springy, but they're cooked through. I still got my pot. This is still hot, but I turned it down to about half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab about 1 little scoop of margarine or butter, throw it in the bottom. That's got to melt up quickly. This is the beginning of the roux. Okay, you see my butter's mostly melted now. At this point, I'm going to add handful, not even a handful, just a little bit of flour. See that? A little more. Okay, now this will mix with the butter. You'll see the flour actually start to cook in the butter. And it fluffs. And you can't do this too long without starting to add, ta-da, some of the water. In your case, you might want to use a cream or a milk. Prefer a high fat content, like a 2% homogenized. Get some of that in there. Mix it in. And as it cooks, you'll watch this flour start to fluff up quite a bit. Look at that. See, it's all fluffing up. A little bit more. A little bit at a time. If you go over it and you make it too watery, you screwed your roux. You screwed your roux. Remember that one. You mix it in. Take it off as it starts to burn, because you don't want it to burn. See, it's looking like a baby food there. There, look at that. Nice. Now that's going to remain the consistency, or even thicker. I like mine to start a little bit more viscous. Alright, there's my roux. I'm going to take my half cup of cheese and throw it in there. And then continue watching this as it melts down. Remember, once that cheese is melted, if it's grated or shredded, it will melt so much faster. I used a medium cheese. The harder the cheese or older the cheese, the longer it takes to melt. New cheese is like, boom, it's gone. But then again, you don't get the same flavor with it. And you don't have to stick with what I have here, which is cheddar. You can go with Swiss, which is a really nice tang, or if you're more extravagant than that, even gorgonzola or blue cheese, which disgusts me, but each their own. So you watch, my cheese is melting and it's turning my roux into an orange paste. You see my cheese sauce is now dripping. Look at that. That's actually a lot of cheese sauce, more than I'll need. But I'm going to eat it anyway, because, you know, a bachelor. I think I'm going to go with the Cajun today. It's a little spicier. Let off the heat. Nice and heavy on the spice. It's yummy. And I like a little extra garlic. Mix that into my cheese sauce. Throw my noodles on top. And stir it in. And there you go. There is your homemade mac and cheese, the way you like, and real cheese, not that crappy open a package freaking Katie crap. My favorite is also to drop in like bits of bacon or a handful of previously cooked ground beef. Let's go eat it. Yum. Well, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.
I hope I've done right.